Off, Gary, this game always brings a different type of energy, a new level of excitement, I think, to the floor. You have a nationally ranked team on your home court. It's going to bring a lot out of your girls.
Well, Gonzaga always is a strong team, but this year they have the highest rank since I've been covering LMU women's basketball. Good game to watch. Let's get it going.
Maya Oliver, Yvonne Ejim set to tip it off, and the Zags will start working right to left on your screen in their road blacks. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for Gonzaga, brought to you by Cedars-Sinai. They're led by the Truong twins. That's Calli and Kaylynne, joined by number 12, Eliza Hollingsworth. Number 15, Yvonne Ejim. And lining things out is Brynna Maxwell. Hollingsworth's first shot, not going to go. Follow-up, not there either. Truong able to get another opportunity on the O board. It's Kaylynne Truong. She'll light things up. That's the first basket, brought to you by LADWP. Kaylynne Truong opens the scoring with a big three.
And Brendan, that's something the Lions cannot do, is make good defensive stops and then give up second chance, and in that case, third chance opportunities with offensive rebounds.
Your Lions working left to right in their home whites for this whiteout here at Gerson's. Take a look at their starting lineup. Same that we've seen for the last couple games. Leading things off is Deja Hamilton wearing 0. She's joined by number 10, Maya Oliver. Number 11, Sophia Anusa. 14, Sydney Gandy. And rounding things out, number 35, Alexis Mark, who we'll be talking a lot about coming up in just a bit. Turnover in transition gives the Lions a bit of a break. Get to go back down and see if they can open the lid on their basket.
So the Zags do everything well. It was an uncharacteristic turnover. Lions need to take advantage of every opportunity they get.
Hamilton back outside to Gandy. Gandy now running point for this Lions squad, something that is new for her this year, but she's done it quite well. Mark the pull up two, that one's in, and Alexis Mark extends her scoring record beyond 1,000, now at 1,013.
I think Alexis Mark relishes the opportunity to go up against the best that WCC has to offer.
Brynna Maxwell fires a three. She can hit that for sure. One of the best shooters in the nation. Shot nearly 95% from the free throw line last year, nearly 50% from three this season, nearing that as well. Oliver, straight down Broadway, too much.
Good defense by Ejim. Oliver not able to convert.
Here goes Strong in transition. No more pass to Ejim. What a find. And a finish by Yvonne Ejim.
Cannot lose Ejim in transition. Truong's going to find her.
Ejim, 6th player of the year for the Zags just 2 years ago, and now thrust into the starting lineup last season and has done incredible work in that role.
Oliver looks a little uncomfortable that time going up against Hollingsworth.
Gandy the kick, Anusa the fire. Can't hit. Hollingsworth the board.
This is something we're going to see all game. The Zags looking to push in transition.
Ejim on the back door. Reverse lay-in. Too easy for Yvonne Ejim.
Well, we talked about it pregame. She is a scoring machine, averaging over 23 points a game.
You said it. Over 20 straight games scoring in double figures, and that dates back well into last season.
Lions a little cold to start the game, just 1 for 4.
Kaylynne Truong over to her twin sister, Kaylynne Truong. She goes down the outside of the lane, can't get the bucket to drop.
Good defense by Gandy.
Lions will maintain possession. That'll bring a player to watch from the Lions into the game, Daly Dunn, as well as Ava Toon.
Daly Dunn, another player we talked about pregame, Brendan, really came on strong in this last 3-game road trip for the Lions. If she can get hot from 3, it can change the dynamic very quickly for the Lions on offense.
She has been phenomenal in these last 3 games, Gary. Absolutely shot the lights out from downtown. Field goal percentage increased from 18% to 34%, and from 3, 17 to nearly 37% over those last 3 games. Quite the incredible jump she's made, especially with it being on the road.
So in this possession, the Lions more deliberate. Expect them to try and take time, work deliberately.
Hamilton the pull up 2, what a pretty shot. Draws the Lions within a possession here early. 6 minutes and some change to go. Hollingsworth down low, Toon tracks back. Pressure, foul, and one.
That's the second time, Brendan, that the centers, the forwards, have gotten loose down low on transition. Lions are going to have to account for that immediately.
And we saw in practice, the Lions were working on that. They had their practice players lobbing it down the court. It was something that the Zags are known to do, and they've done it here many times in transition, and the Lions have just gotten bitten by it.
Yeah, this is the type of thing the Zags do.
Gary, let's take a look at our keys to the game for Gonzaga, brought to you by LADWP.
So the keys are to push the ball in transition. We're seeing that already. And then they need to prevent open threes by the Lions, especially players like Daly Dunn.
Zags coming back in transition. Kaylynne just a bit too much on it. She's frustrated. Not an error you often see from the Truong twins. They are phenomenal basketball players and even better passers in particular.
And we're seeing the Zags come out in a full court press. Lions are going to have to be prepared for this, not get caught up at the corners where the trap is set.
And during the stoppage, we're seeing the first of Calli Stokes, as well as Maud Hybens. Dunn from downtown, rims out. Maya Hernandez also into the game, pulls a big old board, and turns it over into the hands of Calli Stokes.
Good look for Dunn, went in and out.
Calli Stokes, the local product. Went to Redondo Union High, just a few miles down PCH. Always seems comfortable playing here in Gersten back home. Of course, in front of family. Brynna Maxwell to pull up two. That one rims off. Hollingsworth goes back up, rejected by Toon. It's Stokes, fights her way through traffic. Whistle's blown, will be out of bounds. Keep it, Zag ball.
Good job by Toon, keeping her hands more or less straight up, not leaning over where she'll get called for the foul. But the height of the Zags bothering the Lions down low. They got 9 rebounds, 4 on the offensive glass already.
Ava Toon out of the game. Maya Oliver back in, and one big sub coming in for the first time in about 5 games. Nicole Rodriguez. As Kaylynne Truong fires one off back iron.
Good
Dandy,
box out by Daly Dunn.
Dandy the board, she'll push in transition. Tries to throw up a teardrop, disrupted by Truong, and it'll send it back the Zags' way. That'll bring us to the media timeout. Low scoring first 5, 9-4 here in Gersten. Lots more to come between the number 17 Zags and your LMU Lions. Early between the Zags and the LMU Lions. Gary, let's talk about the keys for LMU, of course, brought to you by LADWP.
So on the first one, limiting turnovers, the Lions are doing a good job of controlling the boards. They're going to have to get that under control. They're already being out-rebounded 10-5, and it's especially on the offensive glass where the Zags are just taking to the Lions.
Calli Stokes holds it high at the logo. She'll work on Rodriguez. It's Kaylynne Truong into the game. Joins her sister. Ejim tried to collect the pass, deflected by Oliver. Truong now, teardrop off the glass, too much. That'll trickle out and go back the Lions' way.
Great battle down low with Oliver and Ejim, and Oliver was able to do some damage.
If you're just joining us, it's been pretty much all Zags to start, but the Lions still holding them in check, only down 5 here with 4:13 to go in this first quarter. Maya Oliver, Sydney Gandy, Nicole Rodriguez firing away a 3. That'll rim out. Yvonne Ejim sky high for the board.
It's good to see Rodriguez back on the floor doing what she does.
Ejim swings around the arc to Truong, working on Dunn. It's Stokes, had an open shot, didn't take it. Hybens now driving down the lane, kick outside to Truong. Stokes, she'll fire that. Won't hit. Ejim, bit of pressure down low from Mark.
You see, Brendan, on offense, the Zags do a great job moving the ball, but on that possession, the Lions were staying with every player all the way through the end of the shot clock. Not a great shot by Calli Stokes, and the Lions now have to play defense again.
And ball must have gone off the hand of Rodriguez there. Zags maintain possession until Alexis Mark steals it away, and here she goes off to the races. Straight down the floor, up and in. Alexis Mark, the body control, an improvement we've seen and something that coach has talked about as well.
And, her hustle, her motor are unmatched on this Lions squad.
First bucket in some time for either squad.
The Lions making a concerted effort to be out there on the three-point line, not giving up the open looks.
Mark and Hybens really battling for position down low. And they'll be forced to turnover and get the Lions the ball back, down by 3.
credit that turnover to the Lions defense.
We talked to Coach earlier this morning. We asked her, how do you get your team, as that ball will go out of bounds.
A miscommunication between Hamilton and Mark.
Taking a look at Coach Erica Hughes here. Her third season at the helm. Still looking for that first win over the Zags, but no detriment to her. It has not happened here at LMU in 16 years. 31 straight wins for this Gonzaga team over the LMU Lions. Chance today for history. Truong rejected by Hernandez. Ejim cleans it up though and puts it home, but what a rejection by the freshman.
Great play, and Hernandez is getting some quality time against an outstanding team. Great learning experience for a freshman.
And she's going to draw the foul down low. It's going to be on Ivins. Fantastic work by Maya Hernandez. Getting position and forcing Ivins to foul. Brynna Maxwell into the game now.
Unfortunately, Ejim was able to clean that up.
Kaylynne Truong will take a seat. Hamilton struggling to find the inbound pass, and she won't get it off. 5 seconds.
2 back-to-back turnovers for the Lions. Just a miscommunication earlier and now a 5-second violation. They need to clean that up.
Feels like so far every moment that the Lions have capitalized and won in a possession, they turn it right back over with an unforced error. Maxwell, catch, fire, hit.
We know from past experience she's a dead-eye shooter. You cannot give her any space at all.
Last time versus the Lions up in Spokane was a little bit cold, but the time before that she was hot here in Gersten. Nearing 1,750 career points. On the Ann Myers Drysdale watch list, one of 20.
Another turnover. The Lions a little bit rattled the last couple minutes of play. Not surprising to see Coach bring in her veteran leaders in Sydney Gandy and Sophia Inusa.
Daily done. Nicole Rodriguez take a seat. Leaves you with Hernandez, Gandy, Hamilton, Mark, and Inusa. Nearing 2 minutes to go in this first quarter. Lions keeping the Zags in check. Stokes down baseline, fouled by Gandy.
So, Brendan, you mentioned that keeping him in check, and you're right. This is still very much a game. But with those 3 consecutive turnovers, the Lions have breathed life into a Zags team that was not playing at their peak.
And we're just taking a look at the reigning WCC Coach of the Year, Lisa Fortier, at the helm for the Zags in her 10th year. Quite the impressive record she has built up. Started on the operations side, went off to a couple other schools, came back under Kelly Graves as an assistant, took this program over 10 years ago and has not looked back since.
So 2 points I want to make. Great hustle by Hamilton to follow her shot and control the ball for a jump, which is now possession to Hamilton. But also, they're continuing to hustle, and that's what they need to do despite a few hiccups.
Gandy, the quick inbound this time, finds Mark at the top. Ejim way outside on her. Back to Gandy now, working on Truong. Over to Mark. She likes that 3. She can hit it this year. Under 10 on the shot clock, working inside the paint now. Oliver, spin, can't get it to go.
And Brendan, Ejim is 4 for 4 so far. Cannot miss because she's shooting from point-blank range.
Mark and Ejim really battling down low. Mark is giving fits to the Zag bigs. Lob pass going to go over. And Yvonne Ejim looks at Calli Stokes and says, put it right in my chest.
Watch how Ejim gets positioned down low. She spreads her legs wide, extends her arm. She's fighting hard to make sure she has the advantage.
The Zags team is impressive, Gary. Think about our first year covering this. Yvonne Ejim, one of the bench players, didn't see a lot of action in her. Moved up to being 6th Woman of the Year 2 years ago, and now one of the powerhouses in the WCC. Gandy fires a 3, rattles out.
I don't know if that could have gone any farther down and come out.
Maxwell picked from behind by Oliver. It'll stay. Zag ball, sideline out of bounds.
So, Brendan, right now the Zags are on a 7-0 run, and during that same period of time, the Lions have 3 turnovers, and that's really changed the dynamic here in the first quarter.
Truong up top to Hollingsworth, looks to feed inside. Ejim, too easy, time and time again. It is like clockwork for the Zags team.
Yeah, they're trying to front her, and the Zags do a great job of lobbing it in.
Lions down now by 12, largest lead here for the Zags by far.
Well, Brendan, it was 6-9, and the Zags are on a 9-0 run.
Noosa stopped up by Truong, but fouled on the shot. She'll head to the line.
Lions very fortunate to get that foul call because Sophia Noosa really didn't have good control at the time she released the shot.
Noelle Yancey into the game for the Lions. Sydney Gandy will take a seat. We just saw milestone for Alexis Mark up at St. Mary's. Sophia Noosa knocking on the door of one as well. She just hit 500 rebounds at Pacific, but she is also looking at 1,000 points just down the road. 22 points from it. Mark fires at the buzzer. It's short. The Lions will end the first quarter down by 12. Lots of work to be done. Second quarter coming up next from Gersten. Zags, Lions battling it out from LA. Career points, over 600 career rebounds, and it's only going to grow. Obviously, plenty more time in this season, and she still has another year of eligibility too.
Yeah, and whatever the Lions are going to be able to do this season, she's going to have to be a part of it. So far this game, she hasn't been able to make her mark, but credit to the Zags for the way they're playing on both ends of the court.
She's one of those players who can create her shot, doesn't always fall, but she is able to get what she wants. Hamilton, another one of those players, and she knocks it down to open up the second quarter.
So I know the Lions are focused on not allowing open threes, but Ejim is doing damage down low. 5 for 5, 10 points.
Quick passing, Ejim back outside. That shot's on the way and off the mark from Bree Sallenbein.
I think the Lions will definitely allow those threes.
Hamilton mishandles the pass, able to recover. Amelie Sitterud into the game as well as Esther Little. Sitterud from way outside. Can't connect. Ejim, another rebound. That's 4 boards for Yvonne Ejim to go along with her 10 points. Whistle blown, foul down low. It's going to bring Alexis Mark, Ava Toon back in the game. That foul will be on Sitterud and likely send her to the bench.
I think she's trying to match up against Hollingsworth down low, and that is a tough matchup for anyone, much less a freshman who's giving away a bunch of size.
Truong the inbound over the head of Hollingsworth. Here goes Gandy. Dumps it off to Mark. Working on Ejim, rejected. Lions will maintain possession. But Ejim said, this might be your house, but I'm locking it down.
Well, and it's a great block because she doesn't foul.
Fantastic. There aren't many players that have rejected Alexis Mark. Yvonne Ejim absolutely locked her down there. Offensive foul on the out-of-bounds play. Frustration mounting here for the Lions early. And the thing with it, Gary, and Coach has talked about this, what the Lions struggle with is when they do face adversity, being able to step back and say, you know what, it's a new quarter, it's a new time, let's move forward, let's work possession by possession. They see the score down by 12 right now, and really it feels like things are starting to fall apart.
And part of it is, and Coach has talked about this, they're all very hard on themselves. You have to have the mentality of if it's a bad play, flush it, move on to the next, but I think they want to do well so badly that they get in their heads some.
Gandy with the turnover. Ejim going coast to coast. Mark's there, steps around her, can't get it to fall.
So as great a play as that was by Alexis Mark, gave up an offensive rebound. That's now, I think, 6 offensive rebounds for the Zags.
Bree Sallenbein there to clean it up and extend the Zags lead to 14. 22-8, 7:50 and some change to go in this second quarter. Lions still looking to hit double digits in the scoring category. They've had games where they've struggled to put points up, and this one so far has been one of those. Gandy takes the open lane and finishes at the rim.
And Gandy doesn't have a lot of size, but she's crafty.
Esther Little with the mask on. Fires it up top to Hollingsworth. It's Sallenbein now, looking to feed inside to Ejim. Kick ball. Again, Alexis Mark. If you watch anything on one of these Lion defensive possessions, watch Alexis Mark down low. The way she's able to get position on the bigger Yvonne Ejim is quite remarkable.
But let's also give credit to Yvonne Ejim. I mentioned this earlier. The way that she positions her body really forces the best out of a defender to stop her, and so far the Lions haven't been able to stop her when she shoots.
Brynna Maxwell, pull up 2. She's going to knock those down pretty much every time.
Well, there's so many weapons on the floor for the Zags. You know, you can control one thing, maybe not allow Ejim, and then Maxwell comes up with a shot.
24-10. Zags lead by 14. Tune back into the game.
She thought about that 3.
Gandy fires one of her own and hits. Sydney Gandy looking to find her stride, and maybe she's got it today. 5 points for the senior.
Sometimes seeing the ball go through the net can make all the difference. She made that shot in her last possession. But she's giving away a lot of size to Salenbein down low. Oh, that looked like a walk.
Maxwell kick outside to Burton. Burton's pass way over the top into the lap of the Gonzaga SID.
Great defensive possession that time for the Lions. More energy, more focus. Seemed like Gandy's buckets may have ignited something.
Destiny Burton, the senior out of Wichita, Kansas, transfer from Panola a couple seasons ago. Had her season high last year of 8 points against this LMU squad. Gandy to run the offense on the far side. She'll trickle inside, looking for the options. Take it back out with 13 on the shot clock. Oliver kick back to Dunn, who drives inside. Lions really unable to fully penetrate the key as it's taken away by Truong.
Good hands by Truong. Sent over to her sister.
Burton left wide open down low. No one tracked back with Destiny Burton, and she's got a layup line laying.
The transition offense is something that was a key to the game for the Zags, and you can see why, because when they do it, they're just dominating the Lions.
It's something that Coach Hughes had tried to work into this Lions squad, and talk about a Zags team that's been together for many years. Some highly skilled players. They've got it down to a science. Oliver able to draw the foul at the bucket. She'll head to the line for a pair. Maya Oliver, a player that's really come out of her shell this year, and we've seen it in some of these games. She's going to be big with some of these dominant bigs. Yvonne Ejim, Maude Hybens.
One of the things that you notice, so Ejim's out of the game, but the Zags have multiple players who they bring in and out of the game, and they don't miss a beat when they do.
Oliver's first off the mark. Struggled from the line this season, just 55% free throw shooting. Second on the way, and true. Hamilton and Dunn apply a lot of pressure to Kaylynne Truong. She goes behind the back and over to Burton.
It's really got to be a benefit to the Zags to have two so capable ball handlers in the Truong sisters.
That shot off the mark. Unusual miss from Kaylynne Truong. Mark into the key, stops, can't get it to drop.
She had her back to the basket, just couldn't get turned to make the shot.
Catch, fire, hit. Kaylynne Truong redeems herself from that last possession and knocks it down.
Another transition bucket for the Zags.
.444 to go, Lions down by 15. Lead is growing each and every possession for the Zags squad. Lions just cannot seem to get their offense going here in this quarter. Gandy looks to jump start it, cannot.
She's been their offense this quarter. Unfortunately, that one didn't fall.
Quick pass, Maxwell drive and finish.
So Maxwell is such a capable shooter. Gandy had to close on her, but then Maxwell was able to drive and get an easy bucket.
Zags just carving up the Lions defense today. We've seen some skilled Zag offense today. They are making it look easy.
Well, on the other end, the Lions really having trouble getting an offensive flow.
Dunn forced to fire too much into the hands of Oliver. Back up and in.
Nice rebound by Oliver.
Maxwell on this near wing really hasn't gotten going from three, but she certainly can. And inevitably will. Truong, another three. This one, no.
So this has been a tough go for the Lions, but they are still in the game.
Mark, the kick. Gandy, the shot. Too much. Right into the hands of Hybens. Hamilton stops up Truong and commits the foul. 3:12 to go. And so it was a low-scoring first quarter, uncharacteristically for the Zags, but that has blossomed very quick. They got a 15-point lead, a lot of it behind the Lions' misses, but credit to them, they're making shots.
They are 5 of their last 7, while the Lions are just struggling, going 1 for 10 from 3.
Gandy currently the leading scorer for the Lions with 5 points, followed up by Hamilton and Mark with 4. Hollingsworth the dump off. Hybens slips down low, 3 in the key. Send it back the Lions' way. Good defensive possession out of the timeout.
And especially give credit to Sitterud for really tough defense. Could have been a 5-second call.
Hernandez, not typically the ball handler, but with it there on this possession. Sitterud sets the screen, wide open, 3 steps around it. Drive inside, teardrop. Good look and a good board. Offensive board gives the Lions another chance. Quality minutes here for Sitterud against the team out of her home state of Washington. Gandy, dump off. The finish from Hernandez.
So there's nothing wrong with the Lions working the full shot clock because it denies the Zags opportunities. They come away with a big bucket.
Hollingsworth way outside. Maxwell being face guarded by Rodriguez. Hybens looking for the pass, finds Hollingsworth. Over to Truong. Kaylynne Truong driving inside. Dumps it off to Hollingsworth, lost in transition. And in the traffic, she gets a bucket to go.
25 seconds of great defense. Last 5 seconds, Hollingsworth gets free.
Clara O'Connor into the game for the Zags, wearing number 4, the freshman out of Bellevue, Washington. Hernandez with the dribble handoff up top. It's Gandy now looking to drive inside. She'll kick it to Rodriguez, pumps the 3, down the baseline, fade away, 2 is good. What a shot from Nicole Rodriguez.
And she needed a little bit of time to get her game legs back under her after a few games missed due to injury.
Yeah, she has not played since 2023 as the offensive foul is drawn. It's going to be called on Kaylynne Truong and fires up the Lion bench.
Good job by Nicole Rodriguez, Daily Dunn, and the team.
Timeout's called by Coach Hughes and the Lions. We'll keep it right here.
Brendan, something I thought is worth mentioning is that the Lions are without a couple really key players in Cynthia Zaja and Ella Whedon, not available for today's game.
And those are certainly big misses, especially when you're trying to guard number 15, Yvonne Ejim, who has just been dominant. And really, some of her shots have been challenging ones, but there's ones like that where the Zags find her wide open down low. And she's got to be sitting there saying, this is too easy.
Yeah, it is too easy. Some of them are in transition, and some of them is her ability to get post position. And when they're fronting her, she's able to come through with the ball. And on that one, it was a good defensive play, but she was there to collect the tipped ball off the block and convert.
Right place, right time, but so much skill behind a player like Yvonne Ejim, who, again, Gary, it's just phenomenal to look at the growth of some of these Zags players. 5 years ago, you look at Yvonne Ejim, maybe one of the last players on the bench. Here she is leading this team, likely going to be WCC Player of the Year if all things continue as they have been. 4-time WCC Player of the Week this year and one of ESPN's top 5 as well.
Daily Dunn cannot buy a bucket. She's had a couple go in and out.
Officials going to give the ball to the Lions. Zags fired up about it. Lisa Fortier is questioning the call right in front of the Zags bench. Certainly they had a good look at it, but the officials keep it Lion ball. Sitterud still in the game, able to collect the high lob on the inbound. She's got Hollingsworth way outside on her. Gandy now with Kaylynne Truong.
Lions have to recognize a short shot clock.
Hernandez inside, finishes at the bucket.
Great body control by Hernandez.
Big 4 points for Maya Hernandez, keeping the Lions within 11. 35 seconds to go in this first half. Lions drawing back ever so slightly. It's Ejim driving on Hernandez. Dump off. Hollingsworth open lay-in again.
So that was the problem, right? I think Sidderu tried to help, which is understandable, but when you help, it leaves a player who's equally skilled available, like Hollingsworth.
Sidderu feeds right inside to Rodriguez, threads the needle. Coach Hughes really sticking with this lineup of Dunn, Gandy, Hernandez. As Gandy fires a teardrop. Not there. Zags pull the board and they'll let the time expire. Coach Hughes clapping it up for her team. That's a great way to end the first half. Certainly want to make, but you know what? The Lions are going to be happy going into the locker room only down 13. This looked like it was getting out of hand quick, and they kept it in check.
Yeah, they absolutely did, Brendan, and it was really the first quarter where the Zags did their damage. Second quarter, pretty even, 17-16. Let's see what the Lions can do in the second half.
35-22, another half to go. Coach Hughes headed over to talk with our Jordan Gonzalez in just a moment. This game a big test and taking on the Lions here, and they're getting around right now, Gary. They are certainly controlling the game per se, but I think the Lions really showed that they're able to hang in there with this squad late in the second quarter.
Yeah, I mean, the second quarter was a pretty evenly matched contest. I bet the Zags are going to come out really strong. I don't think that Coach is happy with their performance, but the Lions are very much in this game. They just can't afford those lapses that we saw near the end of the first quarter.
Be crucial to see what the Lions can do. Coach Lauren Unger, assistant coach, always says it's a great day to have a great day, and now it's a great time to have a great half. And immediately we see some pressure and forces a turnover right out of the gun. And Gary, you were spot on. Gonzaga came out with some fire.
Well, they came out with the trapping defense, and the Lions just weren't ready for that. They will be now in the next time down.
Oh, great backdoor feed. Kaylynne Truong unable to handle it. Make it Calli, excuse me. Mark looking to go coast to coast, rejected by Ejim again.
And credit to Ejim. I've rarely seen Alexis Mark get blocked, and I think Ejim has 2 on Alexis Mark alone in this game so far.
Gandy the inbound to Hamilton. Starting 5 back on the floor for both squads. Anusa fires a 3 and connects.
And she's creeping ever closer to that 1,000-point mark.
So blown foul is going to be called. It'll send Ejim to the line. Your officials today, led by Richard Waters, assisted by Alicia Murray and Sephora Chase. Anusa, first basket of the day, draws her under 20 on her way to 1,000. 19 to go. Need a big 19 here. Could that propel the Lions to a win? We shall see. Sydney Gandy also on 1,000-point watch. She was 26 away at the start of today, now down to 21. So lots of milestones happening here in Gerson. Alexis Mark, rebounds, points. Sophia Anusa, points, rebounds, and Sydney Gandy, points as well.
Now the Zags in a trap. Full court trapping press.
Lions quickly break it. Alexis Mark looking to go. She dumps off to Oliver, looks off to mid-range Jay. She'll fire a shot from in the key. It'll roll home. Friendly roll for the Lions.
Zags looking to speed the Lions up. Lions need to make sure they continue to work clock. Don't need to buy into the Zags' pressure.
Single-digit lead for the Zags now as Kaylynne Truong is fouled. Count it. She'll head to the line for a chance at the three-point play. Second personal, second team foul. Just kind of an unnecessary reach from Oliver. Wasn't going to get to that ball, and instead gives Truong an opportunity for the three-point play. From the line, she's 75% this season. Grad student out of Texas. This will be the last time, likely, we'll see her and her sister, for that matter, in this building. There's been some generational players for Gonzaga. Certainly the Truong twins and Yvonne Ejim are among them now. Think about the Worth twins, Jill Townsend, So many players have come through this program that are been revolutionary in developing and continuing on that legacy.
I think Kaylynne Truong is on the verge of 144 games played, which would be the career leader for the Zags.
It is, and she hit that today.
And right now, Brendan, we're only a minute and a half in, but I've seen the Zags' intensity on the defensive end picked up. I'm certain that was a halftime conversation.
Oh, absolutely. Lions are going to have to settle in and get used to it because it is not going to be changing over these next 18 minutes. Maxwell, 3. Not there. Typically a dead-eye shooter. Mark inside, works around Truong too much, gets her on board, back up and in. Alexis Mark cleaning the glass, putting it home, doing what she does.
And that's the Alexis Mark that we know and love. She does everything for this team.
6 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Senior out of Chatsworth, getting it done here against the Zags. Dump off inside to Maxwell, disrupted by the Lions. Over the head pass outside, it's Truong, too much. Ejim, the high board, deflected by the Lions, and Hamilton and Alicia Murray go tumbling into the boards, and Hamilton able to hold her up. Alicia Murray able to call the foul while being taken down, and they're going to call an offensive foul.
Well, it was a push, and give Hamilton credit for holding up the official.
Take a look, oh, what a save. Look at that, calls the foul while she's going down. Alicia Murray. That's a professional right there, folks.
Now let's see how the Lions are able to handle this full court pressure. What they need to do is break this and then set up their offense and not get rushed.
I think your top 10 highlights for officials, because that should be on it. Dunn down low, rejected.
I think that's 3 blocks by Ejim.
She's a bit fired up by the call. She thought should have maybe gone the other way, certainly not the case, but either way, Zags back with it. Brynna Maxwell, pull up 2 off the iron.
The Hernandez contest bothered Maxwell on the shot.
Gandy looking to go coast to coast on Maxwell, throws it up off the glass, not there.
And Ejim snatched that out from Hernandez.
39-29 Lions holding within 10. Truong to Truong and a travel.
Brendan, can you imagine what it was like growing up in the Truong house with those two going up against each other?
I'll tell you what, I want some home video of those two.
That would be great. And, the thing is, you get better as a player when you play against good competition. They had tremendous competition right in their own home.
That's pretty remarkable what these two have done. Grown into some incredible players, developed each other, their time at Gonzaga, and now showing what they can do game after game after game. As you mentioned, Kaylynne Truong, all-time leader in games appeared for the Zags with 144. Mark shot rims out, and Ejim pulls another board. She's got 8 to go along with her 13 points. Truong back up top to Truong. She'll hold and run some shot clock down. 6:20 to go in this third quarter. Lions trail by 10. Keeping it within a stone's throw. Another offensive foul called on Ejim. And the Zags bench is not happy about it. Lisa Fortier way out onto the court. She called a timeout though. It'll be the immediate timeout. So we'll step aside. We'll see more coming up next from Gersten. Lions trail by 10.
Position of her arm relative to Hernandez's head. And give Hernandez credit because she was bodying it up and trying to play tough defense.
Hernandez with some incredible minutes today, productive as well. Hasn't been a scoring machine for the Lions, but today, 4 points to go along with some fantastic defensive play, disrupting both on the outside and on the inside on Ejim, Hollingsworth, and the lot of these bigs for Gonzaga.
Dunn looked for the shot, but wisely chose not to take it.
Gandy shifty moves. Sitterud steps around, fires a 3, not there.
Shot clock was winding down. A little bit of a forced shot, but not much of a choice at that stage.
Sitterud, a spot up 3 shooter. That's what she was brought here to do. That's what she's great at. Still trying to find her rhythm in a Lion uniform.
So that was a foul, but it was not a lot of contact, and I think that may be a little bit of, kind of a makeup thing.
Take a look again. Yeah, Sitterud slapped her arm in there. Definitely going to be a foul.
There was a lot of contact on that screen, but no call.
Truong fires a right wing three. That's off the mark. Hernandez streaking in for the board. Will it go off her hands? No. It'll go back the Lions' way.
Lions fortunate because Ejim was by herself down low, but she didn't get the rebound.
Rodriguez to run point on this possession. Gandy trails the play. 5:18 to go in this third quarter. Rodriguez still looking to get back into her rhythm, coming off an injury, missed the last 5 games. Gandy inside, dump off to Hernandez. She'll drive down the outside of the lane on Ejim. Go up strong, can't get it to fall.
Nice move with the left hand, but tough defense by Ejim.
Lions owe their last 5, 1 of their last 8. Lid's been put back on the basket, but it's also been there for the Zags.
Hollingsworth trying to go to work.
Rejected by Sitterud.
Nice block.
Freshman coming to work, and Hernandez going to draw the foul. They're going to say no basket.
I think the Lions would take the basket over the foul. I think they might have to check and see when that foul occurred. Nope, they're just going to bring in the subs. Let's take a look.
We'll take more looks after the break, and we'll get their official decision after this. More coming up next on ESPN+.
But the best way to have Ejim not hurt you is when she's not on the floor.
Oh yeah, because take a look at that stat line. 13 points, 9 rebounds, 6 of 7 from the field. When she's on the floor, she's doing damage.
And she's got at least 3 blocks that I remember.
It's been quiet, though, the last 4 minutes for both squads. Scoring droughts for both sides. Lions one of their last 8. Zags over their last 5. Look to change that here on this possession. 4:25 to go in the third quarter. Lions trail by only 10. Number 17 ranked Zags giving the Lions some trouble, but the Lions fighting back. They'll turn it over on that possession off the missed shot.
So, Brendan, sometimes I get concerned when the Lions work deep into the shot clock because their offense is stagnant. Against the Zags, it's a deliberate pace, and I like that. Just couldn't end up with a good shot as the shot clock got down to 3 seconds.
Truong, crafty moves, bumps into Dunn.
Oh, that was a tough one because it looked like there was an extension of the arm.
I think they'll say Dunn maybe didn't give her the space to operate. She's one of those defenders that likes to get right up in your grill. Yeah, it could have gone either way.
Yeah, that was a 50-50 call.
Kaylynne Truong to inbound now, finds Hollingsworth down in that left corner.
Definitely a mismatch with Soso Inusa defending Hollingsworth.
Calli Stokes around Hamilton. Off the glass, won't fall, but she'll go to the line.
So in the last couple of possessions, the Lions started to collect fouls. Amaya Oliver has at least 3 now. And it's I'm sorry, I think that's, I don't know if it's been updated.
Yeah, she
now
has 3 fouls,
yep.
yes. Oliver with 3, Hamilton with 2, Ejim on the bench with 3 as well. Hernandez back in the game, and this is certainly her career high in minutes.
And she's earned them, but also note that Cynthia Izaja, another big for the Lions, is unavailable.
Talk about Izaja being out, Ella Whedon also out. Certainly more of a 3 player, but has been thrust into some bigger roles at times.
It's a really nice thing for Coach Hughes to have a freshman big in Hernandez who can give you quality minutes when needed.
And she's coming out of her shell today. This is not a rotation that we've seen a lot of. She has not gotten this much time in any game so far this season. She's showing up today and showing up against one of the toughest teams in the conference.
Absolutely.
Inusa shot way off the mark. Truong fouled by Dunn, trying to go for the loose ball.
So again, we're seeing now the Lions starting to pick up some fouls. It's going to end up putting the Bulldogs at the line where they can pick up easy points. Lions have been holding strong in this quarter, but this is a dangerous period of time when the Zags get points with no time elapsing.
Second personal, 5th team foul. It's the limit in the quarter. Still 3.5 minutes to go till that foul count resets for the Lions. Truong at the line. Kaylynne Truong, that is, 79% free throw shooter. She'll knock it down on the first try.
This is a period of time when the Lions should be trying to take advantage of Ejim's absence. See if they can do so.
Second one rims out. Mark there to corral the board. Coach Hughes calling for the Lions to push. It's Gandy running point with Mark up top. Hamilton, Inusa, and Hernandez join the pair. Mark pumps, drives down the left side of the lane, deflected, and a foul's called on Hybens.
And Mark was giving up a lot of size, but undeterred, went up, and let's see the play here. Oh, there was definitely foul on the arm.
That'll send Mark to the line where she is the team leader in free throw percentage, 73%. Certainly a stat that Coach Hughes wants to see improve. It has gotten slowly better as the season has gone on as a team. They're shooting 70%. That was down in the low 60s at one point, but certainly not where they want it to be.
No, and when you play a team like the Zags, every point counts. You can't afford to give them up. Those are two big points the Lions are unable to capitalize on.
Every point matters. They're down by 12, 41-29. Still, trailing is trailing, but when you're trailing by only 12 to this Zags team, you got to be feeling all right. Calli Stokes around the screen inside, looks to dump off to Hybens. Instead, it's Hollingsworth. Truong working around Inusa, looks to fire a three, trying to create space. She will. That's short. Boards batted around into the hands of Gandy. Here she comes, off to the races.
Great defense by Inusa.
Inusa tries to feed inside, deflected by Truong and out. Ava Toon into the game. Gary, I'd venture to say this is the deepest we've seen Coach Hughes continually go to the bench. The rotation has been pretty constant. You talked about it. They're obviously short Cynthia Zaja down low. But still, she's been out a couple games recently. We haven't seen this consistent of a rotation. We're seeing it here today. Ava Toon getting minutes. Obviously, we talked about Maya Hernandez really getting the big some time on the bench.
Yeah, there's a couple factors. One of them is that the Zags play at such a high pace. Coach Hughes wants to make sure her team is rested. The other factor is we've seen some foul trouble in this third quarter as Deja Hamilton hits a great pull-up jumper. So that foul trouble necessitates more players coming in. But Maya Oliver got to be on the bench with those three fouls.
Bree Sallenbein in for the Zags. Maxwell wide open. Money.
There's a lot of players on this team you don't want to leave open. I think Maxwell's at the top of the list.
Call her Money Maxwell. She's deadly from outside. Hernandez through contact. Bulldozes her way to the cup.
You know, Brendan, we've seen Hernandez's game evolve over this short period of time this season. She's a player that I am so impressed with in the way she's played as a freshman.
Pass thrown out of bounds by the Zags. Uncharacteristic turnovers by them today. They've got 14. 5 more turnovers than the Lions. Take a look again. Maya Hernandez through the contact. Could have been a foul. Gets her way up and in. And we saw in practice, there were times where Hernandez shies away from scoring. And today, Coach said to her, Maya, go up and score. That's what you're here to do. And she's doing it today.
And credit to Inusa for a great pass. Look at that drive by Hernandez.
Up and in, career high, 8 points for Maya Hernandez. Looks cool, calm, collected, and ready to take this game over.
Brendan, she's also the leading scorer for the Lions.
Yes, she is. Hernandez talking on defense as well there for the contest and disrupts it from Truong. Massive game as she fouls Truong on what will likely be a 3-point play. We'll see. Actually, looks like they may call it 2, maybe foot on the line or just inside.
It's too bad. I understand Hernandez's desire to block that shot, but the crafty Truong is able to get her up in the air, get the foul, and go to the line.
Yep, Truong saw it coming all the way.
Looked like she was inside the 3-point line, so it would just be 2 shots.
Hernandez will take a seat. She's got her first foul.
And with 1 minute, 16 seconds left, Brendan, Ejim is back with those 3 fouls. Clearly, Coach Fortier doesn't want to let the Lions chip further away into this lead, but there's a bit of a risk there.
Now Lions within 9. Zags have been handing it to WCC teams with double-digit wins in their first 3. 74-53 at Portland, 87-49 at home against the Broncos of Santa Clara and 85-67 at home against the Toreros. No rest for the Wicked. Maya Hernandez right back in the game. 46-35, 11-point lead for the Zags team. Impressive showing so far for the Lions, but when we talk about, Gary, can the Lions play 4 quarters? We still have 1 minute to go in this third, whole another 10 minutes coming.
And Maya Oliver and Ejim going up against each other, both with 3 fouls.
Screen by Hernandez. Shifty. Hamilton, not there. Hernandez, oh board, back up, and 1! Maya Hernandez.
I was looking for her father, who's here at every game. She is balling out.
Put the exclamation point on it. Maya Hernandez making herself known against the number 17 Zags. Take a look. Man, what a finish. Fire them up.
With a free throw here, Hernandez has a chance to bring them within 8.
Fearless, fierce. Maya Hernandez, the freshman, career high 10 points, looking to make it 11. Cannot. Nearly got her own board. It's going to stay here. Foul is likely going to be on Calli Stokes on the box out. It is.
The Lions' energy, Brendan, has really come through, and it's fueled by Hernandez's fearless play, which you've been talking about.
That'll send Deja Hamilton to the line. Second foul on Stokes. Team limit for the Zags. Lions 4 of their last 5. First free throw draws it within 8, 46-38. Lions setting up for an exciting fourth quarter. Under a minute to go in this third. Gerson Pavilion falls dead silent. Hamilton shot on the way, rims out.
Tough break, couple free throws here. Could have cut this lead even further.
Ejim now over to Salenbine. She works inside, dump off to Ejim, right up and in.
It's as if that's a play they have.
It might be.
No, it is. That was a great play. Clearly they have worked that to perfection.
Gandy holds outside. 6-second difference between game and shot clock. She's got Esther Little guarding her. Screen from Oliver. Leaves Gandy open behind the arc. She steps back, fires away. Can't connect. Salenbine the board. 8 seconds to go. Zags with the last shot. Ejim hobbling up behind the play. Hopefully she's all right. Truong can't get it to go. She'll go streaking into the cheerleaders on the baseline, and Hernandez will be called for her second foul.
No, an unfortunate foul because of the foul trouble the Lions have been in this quarter. There'll be free throws coming for Kaylynne Truong.
Kaylynne Truong, like you said, 79% free throw shooter. Today so far, 1 of 2. She struggled from the field, only 4 points so far, 1 of 7. That includes 1 3. Uncharacteristically low percentage shooting night as she can't hit the free throw either. Something's up with these rims, Gary.
Well, usually the rims are tough for the Lions, but today they're tough for the Zags as well, and the Zags have a chance to be up 11 with 3 seconds to go.
Hernandez the inbound. Gandy, 2 seconds, fires. 3/4 court, not there. And it sends us into the fourth with the Lions down by 11. Man, could it get more exciting? We'll find out. 10 minutes to go. More action from Gersten up next. Welcome back to Gersten Pavilion. Here the Zags leading by 11, 49-38, and inside the booth.
Because in the second and third quarters, the Lions actually have the lead by 1. It's that first quarter where they dug themselves a hole. They're now 11 points down, but they are very much in this game, and the Zags know it. They're playing hard.
Kaylynne Truong up top to Hollingsworth. She's in that far corner now.
A tough switch with Gandy now trying to guard the Hollingsworth.
Stokes all over Rodriguez. And it'll be a foul on number 17 in white.
Let's see the replay there.
Now Rodriguez never set herself up. It's going to be a block. As a reminder, there is no restricted zone this year in women's college hoops, so ignore that half circle down low. That is Still a part of the men's game, so they got to keep it on the floor, but not a part of the women's game, as a reminder.
But full court pressure by Esther Little caused a little bit of hesitation. Lions able to get it across the half-court line.
Interesting, Gary. Kaylynne Truong on the bench. Yvonne Ejim also there to start the fourth quarter. As I say it, Ejim comes over to the scorer's table waiting to check in.
Well, remember, Ejim still has 3 fouls, as does Oliver, so coaches have to be careful. They don't want those players out of the game prematurely.
Gandy been quiet since her first 5, looking to get going again. Daly Dunn inside to Mark. She steps around Little, rejected from behind. Alexis Mark, I think, has been rejected more times today than she maybe has all season long.
Yeah, she's not afraid of going up against bigger players, and today the Zags have been able to get some effective blocks on her, holding her to just 6 points.
Dunn hit hard on the screen by Little, able to recover, grimacing a bit. Mark gets her hand in there, and foul's going to be called by Alicia Murray.
So we saw that the Lions got in foul trouble in the third. They're now 2 fouls already with just over a minute of game time, and that could end up with the Zags at the line for free points.
2 fouls already and still 8:42 to go. Team limit is 5 per quarter. Mark will head to the bench.
Hernandez getting more minutes and against, like you said, probably the WCC Player of the Year in Yvonne Ejim.
Ejim now inside on Hernandez. Stops up, puts it up and in.
Zags with 5 quick points to start the quarter.
Quick dump off to Gandy, gets the Lions offense going. 25 seconds on the shot clock, 8:18 to go in this fourth quarter. Good feed, good find, and a good finish by Maya Oliver.
You said it, Brendan. Feed, find, finish, or find, feed, finish.
Ejim at the left elbow, dumps it into Hollingsworth. Hounded by Maya Oliver, gets the rejection. Hernandez hits the deck, going for the loose ball. It'll stay. Zags ball.
Thought she had a little help falling on the floor, but no call.
Noelle Yancey into the game. 4, drum roll please, Sydney Gandy.
I don't expect Gandy to be out long.
Truong the high inbound to Hollingsworth. Down to Ejim, working on Hernandez. You got a grad student against a freshman, it's going to happen.
Ejim is very masterful at getting good position down low. Hernandez tried to front, but the Zags also do a great job of feeding her.
You got a player as dynamic, as dominant as Yvonne Ejim. You got to be good at feeding it.
A lot of dribbling by Noelle Yancey.
She heaves up a shot nowhere near the basket.
This has been a bit of a lull to start the fourth and final quarter for the Lions.
Hollingsworth disrupted by Oliver and Dunn. Wanted to take that 3, saw the contest coming and moved her feet. Sydney Gandy back in the game, just like you said. Noelle Yancey hits the bench.
Yeah, and Gandy is their leader on the floor. Good spell for a few moments by Yancey, but a little bit too much dribbling. Hopefully Gandy can get that offense set again.
Oliver, top of the arc, hand off to Rodriguez. She'll work inside the key now. Back up top on this left wing to Gandy. Dump off to Hernandez, rolling down the paint and in. Maya Hernandez is a freight train downhill, and she's not stopping anytime soon.
Great use of the left hand. She now has, I think, 12 points.
Career high, 12 points. Coming in this one, and only had 6. Hernandez pushed from behind by her own player. Luckily, the shot doesn't fall for Ejim.
Oliver with another big board.
Bit of traffic here on this left wing. It's Rodriguez now on the right wing.
Brendan, care to guess who the Lions' rebound leader is?
I would assume
Sydney Gandy.
Sydney Gandy, wow.
She has 6 boards.
You were right.
To go with 6 assists.
Yeah, I would not have guessed that. Clearly I didn't. Rodriguez shot won't fall. Not a great look. Ejim, no travel, throws it up short. Kaylynne Truong up and in. Second chance point.
Tough break for the Lions. The tip from Oliver usually leads to her collecting the rebound, but that time it went to Truong. Lions look a little bit gassed. I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Hughes calls a timeout here pretty soon.
58-42, 16-point lead. Largest lead was 17 at one point for the Zags. Oliver can't finish at the rim. It's deflected out of bounds. And it'll go back the Zags' way, it looks like.
So instead of a timeout, it's a line change. 4 players coming in for the Lions.
Clean my glasses here and figure out who we got. Ava Toon, Alexis Marks, Sophia Nusa, Deja Hamilton all into the game. Dunn, Hernandez, Rodriguez.
Lions,
I'll take a seat.
Sorry, Brynna. Lions need to keep an eye on Maxwell. She's back in the game, and all the Lions need now is for her to get hot. So they really have to keep an eye on her.
Maxwell, 10 points, 4 of 8 from the field, 2 of 4 from downtown. Ejim to the rim and 1.
So slowly the Zags have started to pull away in this fourth quarter. But obviously the Lions still in it, of course, but they're going into their reliable forward, Yvonne Ejim. You could see her scoring there through the contact, a chance to extend this lead to 19.
That bucket extends her streak of games with 20-plus points, 21 so far for the grad student, 10 of 13 from the field, 2 of 3 from the line, 11 rebounds as well. I mean, Gary, there's some phenomenal players in the WCC, but Yvonne Ejim is really the cream of the crop.
Well, absolutely, but unfortunately for all the teams in the WCC, she's not the only member of this Zags squad that is the cream of the crop.
You got a reigning WCC Player of the Year in Kaylynne Truong, and now another one potentially coming in Yvonne Ejim. Mark, hard into the body of the Zags, threw off the play. It'll be a turnover for Alexis Mark. Amelie Sitterud onto the court for the Lions as well with 5:05 to go. Lions trail. Hamilton got a hand on it. Ejim finds it through traffic and puts it home.
Well, look, Brendan, the Lions have struggled to front Yvonne Ejim all game, and it's even harder if Deja Hamilton is doing it. Ejim now has 24 points to go along with 11 boards. Sixth double-double of the season.
Zags lead has blossomed to 19, their biggest of the game so far. Excuse me, make it 21. Sitterud from downtown. I mean, beyond downtown. We're talking Pasadena. Hamilton down the lane, no good. And a foul from behind, a frustration foul by Alexis Mark.
And I think you could see frustration setting in. Hamilton with a good, strong drive, couldn't get the finish. Lions were very much in this game, the beginning of the fourth quarter, but the Zags are on a 14-4 run. And that is where we're at.
63-42, under 5 to go. More action, and likely more Yvonne Ejim buckets coming up next. Final 4:24 to go from Gerson Pavilion. It's full speed ahead from here. As you take a look at Lisa Fortier on the verge of win number 250 as a head coach. A phenomenal time she's had in her 10 years at Gonzaga. WCC Coach of the Year multiple times. Only coach in program history with 9 20-win seasons in her first 10 years. 6 straight NCAA tourneys. I mean, the list goes on and on and on of accolades that go under Lisa Fortier's name, and she has taken this program to heights that it hadn't been before.
Yeah, and she not only has skilled players, but they're extremely well coached, disciplined. They've been bringing it when they had to. Even though this game was close at the end of the third, they made their imprint here in the fourth.
Robin to Hernandez. Foul's going to be on Ejim. That'll be number 4. Likely will take a seat here as Hybens comes in, but back to Fortier. Not only is she out there recruiting some of the top players, she's got one of the best coaching staffs I think we've seen in the nation. Names Jordan Green, Craig Fortier is her husband, Stacey Kleinsmith. Just a fantastic group of coaches on that Zags bench who have been there long-term by her side and led to so much of the success. And I'm sure she'd say they're a big part of these 250 wins.
And there's a culture of excellence in that program.
Mark inside. Through traffic, Maxwell is there. Foul is going to be on Hernandez.
How did Alexis Mark not get fouled on that play?
I'm not sure. She's not sure. And all we know is that the Zags are headed to the line. Lions hit the bonus. Excuse me, Zags hit the bonus. Lions hit the limit. Third personal on Hernandez.
I would say it's tough right now for the Lions. They've got 3:43 left. Clearly the game is out of control. You just want to build towards your next game because there's no rest for the weary. They got to face a tough San Diego team who hasn't played up to their potential, but they always give the Lions trouble.
Well, that's the big thing we talked about with Coach Hughes today. I asked her, how do you have your team come into a game against the #1 team in the conference and turn around and know you're playing a team in San Diego who has been dangerous year after year, but has started a bit rough? They're 0-5 to start things off. They're certainly going to come in here hungry, ready for a win, and the Lions are going to have to face that on the back end of a tough one like this. Anusa gets a bucket to fall, brings the Lions within 23-27 to go. It'll certainly be a battle. San Diego, not a team to sleep on, and Coach Hughes always says it, not a single team in the WCC can be slept on.
No.
And they're going to get the 10-second violation. Fantastic pressure from the Lions squad in the full court.
San Diego is a team that likes to pressure. That's something that we'll likely see Saturday as Coach Hughes calls a 30-second timeout.
We're going to keep it right here on the floor. Take a look at some highlights of Kaylynne Truong, who's been outstanding along with her twin sister, Kaylynne Truong. And it's not just the scoring, as you're going to see here, it's her ball movement, her court vision, the way she's controlling things on the floor, the dump-offs, the feeds inside. Hollingsworth, Ejim, assist after assist after assist coming from Kaylynne Truong and Calli Truong.
And I've talked about this earlier in the game. The depth on this team is really outstanding.
10 assists for Kaylynne Truong today. It has been phenomenal. Excuse me, Calli Truong. Gosh, you know, you'd think after 5 years, you'd be able to get it right. Here I am. Apologies. Calli Truong. Calli Truong 4 assists. Kaylynne Truong 10 assists. Gandy fires away off the rim. Rebound by Mark down low. Back up top to Hernandez. Gandy, another shot. She'll swing instead. It's her. Hamilton, not there. Third chance for the Lions. Mark bodies her way in. Too much. Hernandez, fourth bite at the apple. That's not there either. Hollingsworth swipes the board, and the Lions seeing the door shut ever so slowly on this one that they had. Kept their foot in between the door and the hinge. All right, now Zags shutting it firmly, and if Kaylynne Truong has anything to do with it, she's going to knock it down and close things out. Up by 22 now, 66-44.
And this is a tale of the first and fourth quarters for the Zags and second and third for the Lions, but you can't win just 2 quarters. You got to win more consistently through 4.
Ball off the leg of Hernandez and out, turn it over. Going to bring Bree Soundbine and Esther Little back into the game. Daly Dunn in there as well for the Lions. Deja Hamilton will take a seat. Hollingsworth and Kaylynne Truong will take a seat as well.
Lions forced to use pressure to try and create some offense, but with 2 minutes to go, 22 points is too much to overcome.
Zags have laid it on here in the fourth. Very similar tale to the first quarter. Outscored the Lions 18-6. Right now they're outscoring them 17-6. Those middle 2 quarters were where the Lions shine, and they're going to want to build off of that, Gary.
Absolutely, and they certainly showed they can play with this Zags team. But we've talked about it all season. The Lions have trouble playing a full 4 quarters. They got to clean that up.
Anusa looking to keep it going here. Gets the steal, goes coast to coast and in. Tracking her way to 1,000 points. Draws ever so closer. 15 away at this point. Good defense by the Lions. Dunn pushed off at the last moment. Lets Soundbine through. She drives down the outside of the lane. Tried to draw contact. Still able to finish.
She drew the contact. No foul called. Inusa ended up taking the worst of that as she hit the deck.
1:20 to go. Lions down by 22. This one in the bag and sealed up. It's been a lot of that here in the fourth quarter. Timeout, it's just going to be for subs here, so Sitterud will get into the game as well as O'Connor. For the Zags, Destiny Burton as well.
So with 1 minute left, looks like the Zags have gone completely to their bench.
It's Little, Soundbine, Hyben, Burton, and O'Connor for the Zags. Yancey, Dunn, Oliver, Inusa, and Sitterud for the Lions. 1 minute to go until we close this one out and look ahead to Saturday. Hyben's up and in.
I joked earlier about, a play they worked on. That's the same play that Hollingsworth and Ejim connected on, and this is the subs now. It tells you what the Zags have in their depth.
Bread and butter for them. Nice and easy. And work it with ease. Inusa.
Inusa coming on strong, trying to get as close to that 1,000-point mark as she can.
Setting herself up well for Saturday. That game against San Diego here at Gershon Pavilion, 2 p.m. Join Gary and I. The Lions take on the Toreros. The Toreros will look for their first win in conference play. Lions will look to stay at 500 with a win there. They drop to 2-3 here. Sitterud thought she got a block, but they'll call a late foul. Coach Hughes says, great job to Ami Sitterud.
Again, fundamental soundness, though, by the Zags. The backdoor cut, the reverse layup. Sitterud blocked it, but also got called for the foul.
2 shots coming for Bree Salenbine. First one's in. Did not see any action last year against this Lions squad.
Brendan, in this quarter, the Zags are shooting almost 70% from the field. That's why they were able to extend this from what was a 11-point lead now to 24.
There's a reason they're number 17 in the nation, led by Lisa Fortier, who is on the verge of her 250th head coaching win. Tremendous accomplishment for Lisa Fortier and her staff. Sitterud from the logo, not there. Yancey saves it into the hands of Salenbine, and the Zags will dribble the clock out and send Lisa Fortier into the record books. 250 career wins as a head coach. Zags come away with the 72-48 win, and the final score won't say it, but the Lions really held in there for quite some time.
They did, right? At the end of the third, they were certainly within this game. But the fourth quarter, the Zags really showed who they are as a team, shooting almost 70% from the field.